all the help we can get to get people to come sit down. Foyer, folks in the foyer. Foyer, you're being called. Foyer. If you say that word long enough, it sounds really strange. Foyer. Foyer. I don't know. Good morning, folks. If you can hear my voice, please clap your hands. Woohoo! Welcome, everybody, to Unity of Fort Collins. Happy summer. It's the last day of June. What just happened? Wow. Do we have new folks here today that would like a welcome packet? If you put your hand in the air, you'll find one appear in your hand. Kamina has them? Okay. If you're new here today, you'll find that our strategy is inclusive. So we have two spiritual leaders who each speak once a month, and in between times, folks from our community are the speakers. So our speaker today is our own Gloria Willis. Woohoo! And Gloria has been waiting a long time. This has been in the works, so there's too much time in the huddle. It's time to get it done. It's so good. Our reader is Kelsey McKelfresh, and our musicians are John Magny and the choir. Love the choir. The Youth and Family Program is focusing in the month of June on prayer, and their topic today is to act by virtue. Act by virtue. I hope they're having lots of fun outside, too. So fun. Chaplain of the day is Jim Weimer. Jim?
I'll wait, because I'm going to be up later to talk about the landscape.
Sounds good. We'll wait on Jim. Okay, turn around and look at the art wall. Ooh, ah. Ooh, ah. So this is a collective of talent from within the community, and the theme was, I can't read it, something in the light. Bringing forth the light, bringing forth the light. So this is one of my favorite things that happens here, is that we can create art and be part of the collective that does it, and so there's not pressure to perform. You just share your art. So fun. We had a very successful yard sale yesterday. Woohoo! More than $1,800. And we have one lone couch that actually the ark wouldn't take. And we found out that it had been dumped in the backyard. So that's all that's left is the one bad couch. So hopefully it's going in a dumpster. We had Pride yesterday as well, and I heard that was fabulous. Come tell us.
I'm still Lisa. I know I don't have the hat. Doug, where are you? I'm here. It's me. Okay. Yes, we had Pride yesterday at the ranch. I was a little apprehensive because it wasn't outdoors, but it was actually a fabulous success, I think. Anyway, we had a lot of traffic. I think that we were maybe sitting for maybe 10 minutes at the most the whole time. It was wonderful. Met a lot of new people, and hopefully we'll see a lot of new people or even kids. So we might have some new ones. Thank you. Oh, and thank you all for your help, everybody that helped there, as well as buying things or doing anything to support us. Thank you.
So between our events yesterday, almost everybody showed up someplace. That was awesome. The YFM program needs some volunteers. We could use someone interested in working with preschool folks mainly, and also someone who wants to be part of the team working and helping create the curriculum. The projects have a monthly theme, creating and designing the youth board in the foyer, and teaching the preschool class on occasion, as well as the elementary class. So Nancy, who's back with the kids, would be happy to talk with you about that. On July 14th, we have a guest speaker coming from Hawaii. The theme is, you are the divine. No, you are divine. Lono Ho'ala will share what he learned from 2 near-death experiences and how they relate to his subsequent experience in Hawaii. He's giving a workshop on enlightenment right after the service. Let Julie know if you're interested. Next session of the kids camp coming the week of July 15th through 19th. Big fun in the kids camp. Community lunch bunch is heading to Simmer at 11:30. And drum roll, please, the landscape team. Woohoo!
I'm so excited. You see what the front yard looks like. Well, you're going to see a miracle happen in the month of July. This guy here has been working really hard, not only to get grants for us, but to lay it all out. So we have some slides this morning that kind of give you a little bit of a flavor of what it's going to look like. And we have a poster out here that shows the plants that we have ordered. And we've been to the rock yard, and we have our rocks coming. And I'm going to let Jim here tell you the schedule of when the work is going to be done and who he needs to help.
Thank you, Reverend Sharon. I'll just scoot down a little bit. Okay. We're going to start, kick off July, and after the 4th of July weekend, we're going to start on July 5th, which is Friday. And the project basically is going to be 4 days a week. I have to take a little time off from working to go to school to learn what I'm doing. So we're basically Tuesdays and then pick up Thursday, Friday, and Saturday as our work schedule. And if all goes according to my plan, we will be done July 20th. Starting Tuesday or Thursday, July 5th, we're going to start basically really breaking ground, getting up the grass, and doing the site prep. Because Tuesday, July 9th, our boulders come, and we will start getting the hardscape in. And then Thursday, we'll pick up our plants and start planting. So I'll have a schedule, what our looks like over there on the other table in the foyer. And I'm passing around 2 clipboards. Whatever you feel like you can do or contribute will be greatly appreciated. No help will be unappreciated. So thank you, and happy plant gardening.
And Jim is our prayer chaplain today. So if you'd like to pray with Jim after the service, he'll be back in the Myrtle Room. Okay, come on, Nancy.
Hi, I'm the other Nancy. We have a couple items left from the yard sale yesterday, and these are beautiful. They're back on the back table. There's 2 twin bed quilts. They are hand-stitched, and they are just lovely. So if anybody wants to take a look and maybe add to the yard sale, we'd love that. Thank you.
Those were too good to go to the ark as opposed to the couch. I have to say one more thing. Welcome home, Anisha. We're so glad to see you. Woo-hoo. Ah, feels so good. Let's do our centering prayer together. Our unity centers us in light and peace, allowing us to recognize our God within and to radiate that love to the world. Thank you.
All right now. Good morning, everybody. I hope you're in a groovy mood. I'm going to get a lot of really good friends up here. Our choir. And remember, if anybody wants to be in the choir, all that is required is the desire. We also happen to have a little talent up here, but everybody knows this song is about grooving on a Sunday morning, actually. You ready to groove? Thank you very much. They will all be back later. But right now, we're going to have a little reading. Kelsey.
All right, I'm going to read to you today from a book called Ceremony by Brianna Wiest. You get to choose how you see your life, so I hope you choose to see serendipity. I hope that when something beautiful happens, you take it as a confirmation. And when something hard happens, you take it as a moment to rest and heal. I hope you choose to put together the pieces. I hope you seek understanding. I hope you find little wells of joy that may spring up through the day. I hope you feel a connection where others see separation. I hope you discover things you never knew you'd want to come. I hope you know that 1,000 failures are the building blocks of your becoming. I hope that you are not dissuaded by the dead ends. I hope you know that they are not final destinations. I hope that you know that it is the courage to keep beginning that ultimately gets us all where we are meant to be.
Speaking of places that were meant to be, I'm going to do a song here that's called I Already Knew You. You know that feeling you have with some people like you've known them over lifetimes? Well, I don't know what to believe about past or future life, but I do believe in a love before first sight. 'Cause my friend, when I first met you, oh, when I first met you now, I was amazed. I was so pleased to find that I already knew you before I ever met you. I already felt you before I ever held you. Like two streams that flow from the very same source, we're together again. Let the river run its course. Now we both come some ways from those old bone-dry days, trusting in that distant shore. And now you're standing up next to me, and I know that we're home free, feeling just as right as rain that's falling ever gently. And I already knew you before I ever met you. I already felt you before I ever held you. Like two streams that flow from the very same source, we're together again. Let the river run its course. Like two streams that flow from the very same source, we're together again. Let the river run its course. We're together again. let the river run its course. 'Cause I already knew you before I ever met you. Thank you very much. Oh, I appreciate that, y'all. All right. And now I think it's time for Gloria, huh?
Good morning, everybody. It's lovely to be with you. I spoke here a year ago, and a lot has happened in the last year in my own spiritual growth and spiritual path. One of the things that I've been hearing so deeply is the importance of making the principles that we hear and read about and listen to real, practiced in our everyday life. And if I only knew how difficult that was going to be, I might not be speaking about it. So anyway, today I wanted to talk about some of the truths that are true for me over the years, some of the things that I know for sure, and then there's other things that are presented to me that I definitely have to practice. So I feel as though I've been called to take a deep dive into my own spiritual practice these last few months, actually, and I'm grateful for it because I'm not quite the same as I was before. Today I'd like to share some of these truths that are real to me. And I'm gonna turn this on. Let's see what we have here. Okay. And I would say that the message today that I have, to know the truth and the truth will make you free, probably much summarizes what I'm actually going to be talking about. And what is the truth that we need to know? It's come to me that the truth we really need to know is who we are as a spiritual being. That's all we really need to know, because everything else is going to be erroneous. It's going to be not true about us. And so that's our path, and we're all on it. And every single experience that we have contributes to us getting closer to that oneness that we know. And the two things that have been more certain to me than ever before is the importance of knowing that oneness with God. And the second thing is that purification, and ongoing purification, is very much a part of clearing our consciousness. And that is oftentimes the difficult part, is really clearing our consciousness and getting in touch with that. So I'm going to just share some. So I said, Gloria, well, what are your truths anyway? And the first truth that came up was being grateful. Now, I was taught to make a gratitude list every day, 5 things or something like that, and it became sort of rote. But where I am now with gratitude is that when I become grateful for every single thing, for every one of you, for everything that's in my path in the day, I'm instantly one with God. Because that's what I see, is that purity of what God is giving to me that I could not give to myself. Lifting up my hand is something God does for me. I can be grateful for that. I can be grateful for that I can walk now easier than I did a while ago. I can be grateful for so many things. And that really is what keeps us in oneness, is an awareness of that. So that was just one of the things I wanted to share right off the bat. The second one is quite close to that, which is, I have my little notes here in case I forget something. The second thing is to practice the presence of God. The presence of God, right here, right now, those can just be words. What I'm trying to do in my everyday practice is make those not just words, but really my experience and my feeling. And sometimes it just takes a pause, or I just hug myself and I just know the presence of God is right here. And my teacher that I've chose quite a while ago, Joel Goldsmith, says we only need to remember really 3 things about God. One is God's ever-presence. If I'm communing with God, I don't need to be afraid of anything, right? I'm sitting with God. You know, the all-knowing of God gives me the feeling that I don't have to figure anything out either, you know? God is infinite intelligence. How good is that? And that's part of me too. I used that the other day when I was looking for my glasses. I said, you do know where those glasses are. You really do. And lo and behold, I reached down and in my couch, there were my glasses. But anyway, and then the all power of God. Whatever we're asked to do, invited to do, we have the strength because God gives us the strength. God is that strength. We are that strength. And that is really what this is about. We should know that truth over and over again and practice it every single day. And when we're practicing that, we are putting ourselves into alignment with God. So the presence of God is right here with us, right now, right here with me, speaking the words I need to speak, giving you the message you need to hear right now. So another one that I learned is that everything I need is provided. Everything I need is provided. Not necessarily everything that I want, but everything that I need is provided. And I had pretty dramatic experience of this a while ago when I lived in New Orleans. I had moved down there, and after about maybe 2 years, I realized that having a car was the most stressful thing I could ever have. Trying to find a parking space. If you've been down there, you know that there's not nearly enough parking spaces for everybody who's down there. So I decided to sell my car. And lo and behold, I knew not a soul when I moved down there. Lo and behold, my next door neighbor bought my car. That was pretty cool. But as soon as I gave her the keys, I was on foot, on my bike, on the bus, or asking for a ride. And I loved riding my bike, I have to tell you. I was fearless on this bike. I mean, I would ride it early in the morning, I'd ride it at night, you know, I had this little tour that I went on all the time. But after about 4 years, I'll never forget this. I just remembered, I forgot one of my slides. I was riding my bike, and here I am in the middle of downtown. It was late, and I'm surrounded by big buildings and lights. There wasn't a soul. There wasn't a car on the road. And this thought came into my head, what if, and it was a fear thought, and it really got in there. I could feel it in there. And I pedaled us home as fast as I could get there. And then a few days later, I was walking, and the thought came, I think I would like to have a car now. I didn't know what to do about it, but I knew I needed to have a car. So a few days later, a couple weeks later, I was sitting in a Unity class in the evening, and we were going around the circle, and this one gal said, I am freaked out. I'm moving to Brooklyn on Saturday, and I don't know what to do with my car. And I said, I'll watch it for you. And by that time, I had moved to another part of the quarter where I was only 1 block away from this huge parking lot, and it was a free parking lot. So I had the parking handled, and I had a vehicle, and I was taken care of, and I was safe. So I could think of that as a miracle that happened, right? Many people would think of that as a miracle that happened, but really, God knows no level of difficulty in manifesting for us, whether we're looking for our glasses or our keys, or we need a car, you know, it's available. And so that's kind of how I approach my life now. I look at my days and what I have, and I try not to compare myself to everybody else, because what I have is perfect for me today. And I think that's where I need to be, is content and satisfied. Whatever I need, God's going to give to me. So I have found, and this may be true for you too, that, as we're on the spiritual path for a while, we're asked to go deeper. And some of the lessons might get harder, actually. And so I want to read this one statement. It's actually a poem from Hafiz. And Hafiz lived between 1320 and 1389. It kind of summarizes how the spiritual path has unfolded for me. The title is absolutely clear. It says, "Don't surrender your loneliness so quickly. Let it cut more deep. Let it ferment and season you as few human or even divine ingredients can. Something missing in my heart tonight has made my eyes so soft, my voice so tender, my need of God absolutely clear." And I have to say that for me, this path has been somewhat lonely. None of my family members, immediate family, is on this path with me. You were on this path with me, my Unity family. I'm so grateful for that. Let's see. One of the reasons I think we get lonely is because in the spiritual path, we're asked to let go of attachments we may have had, things that no longer serve us. Relationships for me have fallen away. Interests that I used to have fallen away. So many things fall away until I have this communion with God that just feels so filling and fulfilling. And so different from how my life was before. And I see some heads shaking to know that some of you feel that very same way. And so that takes us to the next part that I feel is important. Let me see if I've missed any other slides here. I don't want to miss anything. I think I'm okay. So one of the books that I'd say is my very favorite book is Life is But a Dream. And I was reading in this consciousness example of something that he gave to me, and it was, think of you having a slide projector. Can everybody think of when they had a slide projector? Well, the slide projector you take out of the basement maybe and plug it in, right? We get the power, and then we flip it on, and then what we have is, and I'm going to have to go back to that. That's not it either. It isn't showing up here. What it is when you turn on the power, there's a big white light, right? On the wall, there's a big white light. That's me. That's you. That white light, that source, that's God, that spirit, that never changes. It's constant. There isn't anything that can happen in our lives that can affect that white light. It's always there. All we need to do really is to recognize it. And so if you think of it on the screen, that white light has no darkness in it, right? Doesn't have any darkness in it. That's us. Okay, so now we want to be comfortable there. We need to hang out in that white light more, right? It heals us. It cleanses us. It purifies us. So now we're going to put on the carousel, okay? Now the carousel is got every single image that you've ever experienced in your life on the carousel. The past, the present, the future, and how you see yourself. Every image is on there. We're going to start looking at the slides, okay? Some of them we just love. Oh, that was when I got married a couple years ago. That was when we had our first baby. That was when we bought our first house. That was when we went to this big party. Oh, there's Uncle Jim. I just hate him. Sorry, Jim. Instantly triggered, right? There's things from our past and even in our present, future that instantly trigger us. And you know, the good news is we can take that slide out of the carousel. We're going to take it out. I'm going to hold it up into the truth and see, what is the truth about this slide? What's the truth about this experience or this person? And if we're really willing to get the truth about it, that person, we will. And we'll see, you may see that you've taken something personally that wasn't meant personally, that that person didn't really mean that, and you have held on to this image of this person for 20 years. However, if you could be free of it, what happens to me, and has happened, is that immediately the next day, there's more light of me to shine. There's more of me available. And so we don't want to be holding on to any of these things. And I just really love that example because it feels kind of simple, doesn't it? We know it's not always that simple. I'm thinking of an experience with my sister who I really was estranged from for a long time, many, many years. I didn't know if I was ever going to get over it, but it caused me a lot of pain. But finally, after maybe 10 years, I held it up. I said, what's the truth about this? And I saw that she was doing the best that she could. And she only had limited amount of information. She never asked me about the situation at all. She never asked me, so she didn't have all the information. So the next thought was, she's innocent. She's really innocent. And I can release her. I can release her. And I started behaving differently. I started sending her little notes, and one day I sent her a package of black licorice because we all like black licorice, you know. And I just did little things that I could do. I don't know that we'll ever have the heart-to-heart conversation that I can have with you guys, but I'm free of that encumbrance on my life, and that feels really, really good to me. Okay, let's see where we are. Well, sorry about this. This is an important slide, I think, and it has to do with knowing the presence of God, and that, you know, what we need to do is simply agree with it. On every level of life, if there is to be a progressive unfoldment in consciousness, there must be agreement. The experience of oneness comes through the consciousness of agreement. This agreement is the secret of spiritual living. And this woman, Virginia Stevenson, was a student of Joel Goldsmith. She just turned 105. She lives in California, and she sees that her purpose now is simply to hold the space of freedom and light and love. And that's why she's still here, she believes. But she's ready to go. So the reason I have this up here is because we can know in our minds one thing, but it's when we agree. That's really true. It's like somebody gives you a gift, you accept it or you don't. You accept it, it's yours. And when we accept that the presence of God is right here with us, we have access to everything that God is. We are one with God at that moment, always, really. We can never separate ourselves from God. This whole program, or what I'm doing today, has been an unfolding of, because it's taken 5 months to unfold. It's been sort of an organic unfoldment. Even the title, Truth or Consequence, you know, are there any consequences? The only consequence I think there is I thought it was a separation from God, but really it is, we cannot be separated from God, so it's a sense of separation from God. It feels like we're separated from God, but we know The white light is here, and we cannot ever be separated from this light because it is always on. It's always on. So I thought that was an important one to put down. Let's see. Another one that I was a Christian Scientist for quite a long time. This is just a great statement. Stand Porter at the door of thought, admitting only such conclusions as you wish realized as bodily results. You will control yourself harmoniously. So I just like it because it's like a porter standing at the door. No, you cannot come in here. No, no. And so I have sometimes a new pain or something in the morning. I go, no, you can't come in here. You're not welcome. Bye. And oftentimes that happens. We have to be persistent, though, with that stance that we take. No, we can't have that in here. I can't have that in here. It's not part of God, and that's how we ask. Is this part of God? Yes or no? If it isn't, we don't have to believe it. This is the statement that really kind of got my attention, I would say. All discord is mesmerism. All is a very powerful word, isn't it? I mean, it's all. It means everything. And I couldn't get that at first, like I didn't know how that would apply. But Joel follows up with this statement: there's a universal belief in two powers. We're born into it. We're born into good and bad, right and wrong, evil and truth. You know, we're born into it. Our path is getting back to the light. That's our path. And every single experience on that carousel of slides is part of what takes us. And I felt so happy to realize that, because I don't know about you, but I've judged a lot of my things along the way. I judged myself, seen myself in a way that wasn't consistent with who I really am. But if I see that as part of my evolution to the light, I can accept myself better. I can love myself more. And so one of the things we realized in looking at this slide is that there is a universal conversation out there about just about everything, right? And most of them are limiting beliefs. And they influence if we are not clear that we are one with this light. And so that, I think, takes practice. Definitely has taken me practice, because some things are very subtle and just want to get in there. So that statement is really not different than this one. There's only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. How are we practicing that? How are we practicing that? You know, we just have to be quiet, still, more still than ever before, and listen for the truth, and be willing to release those things that really do not support our spiritual growth. And so, let me see, I think I have one more thing. I feel like I'm doing better than I thought I was going to. Thanks to you, I feel enveloped in love, so it's a good thing. I think there's only one more thing, and I'm really just getting ready to close. We just need to know over and over again that we are that light, that we are perfect and powerful and all-knowing and good. We're good. We're all good. So I'm going to just close with this one last poem from Hafiz. It's called Just Sit There. Just sit there right now. Don't do a thing. Just rest. For your separation from God is the hardest work in this world. Let me bring you trays of food and something that you like to drink. You can use my soft words as a cushion for your head. Thank you. let us just relax, put our feet on the ground, and take in, close our eyes gently, and take in a breath. Hold it, release it. Take another deep breath. Begin to feel that stillness within you. I want you to connect with that light that's in you. However big or small it is, it's perfect. Just be with that light for a minute. And then I want you to meditate on this one thought. There's only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. God the good, omnipotent. Let's say it one more time. There's only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. God the good, omnipotent.
Now you know why we do what we're doing. A very sincere message from Gloria's heart. And wouldn't you rather have a sincere message from one of your peers' hearts than some theory? So Gloria, thank you for sharing your heart with us. And we share our heart with you. Thank you very much, very deeply. Talking about sharing, it's time to share our gifts, our tithes, our offerings, our positive attitude of abundance. So let's have the ushers come forward and bless this offering that we're ready to give to support this ministry. Together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God.
was great, Gloria. Thank you very much. And she had suggested, since it's close to July 4th, that we do a song about freedom. So we're going to do a song here that was recorded by Solomon Burke. And it says, none of us is free if one of us is chained. Y'all ready? Well, you better listen, sisters and brothers. If you do, you can hear there are voices still calling across the year. And they're all crying across the ocean. They're crying across the land. And they will till we all come to understand that none of us are free. None of us are free. None of us are free. One of us is chained. None of us are free. 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 One of us is chained. None of us are free. There are people still in darkness, and they just can't see the light. If you don't say that it's wrong, then that says it's right. We gotta try to feel for each other. Let our brothers know we care. We got to get the message, send it out loud and clear. None of us is free. None of us are free. None of us are free. If one of us is chained, none of us are free. 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 If one of us is chained, none of us are free. Sha la 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 la. Sha la 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 la. Sha la 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 la. Sha la 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 la. If you just look around you, you're gonna see what I say. Because the world is getting smaller every day. Now it's time to start making changes. And it's time for us to realize that the truth is shining real bright right before our eyes. None of us is free. None of us is free. None of us are free. One of us is chained. None of us are free. Oh, none of us are free. 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 One of us is chained. None of us are free. Can you help us out now? None of us are free. None of us are free. None of us are free. One of us is chained. get the kids? Okay. This little light of mine, oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, oh, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. On the corner of Lions and Vine, here on the corner of Lions and Vine, I'm gonna let it shine. Here on the corner of Lions and Vine, I'm gonna let it shine. Here on the corner of Lions and Vine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. One more time. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
All right, guys, you came on the other side, didn't you? Uh, can you imagine, just visualize for 2 seconds, how much fun we had with 5 little boys this morning? It was amazing. It was great. We did talk, we finished our theme of prayer for the month. And today we talked about virtue and living a virtuous life. And Nathan made it very clear to me that was kind of a tough subject to be talking about. But we did. We had a great conversation on it, and I appreciated them sticking with me on that. But the idea, Nathan, what does virtuous mean?
Virtuous means doing the right for everyone and everybody that affects everyone for the better in every way. Well, in some ways. I don't know.
Virtuous means helping the earth and picking up trash.
Oh, yeah.
If you help our earth, you could have bugs, and they help, and bugs help our earth.
Bugs. Bugs. Yeah.
All right, that was where we went today, and they actually learned something, yes. It was cool. All right, thank you, guys.
So that was part 2 of today's lesson, wasn't it? What does virtuous mean? All right. So thank you for being here on this beautiful Sunday morning and being part of this community. And all of you that are watching us online, thank you. So let's all circle up and hold the hands of that dear one that's next to you. So we have the prayer protection and the peace song. So I invite you, just think deeply about what you're saying in this prayer protection. The light of God together. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.